Ghost Gen 3 here, everyone. Hi. Today I'm going to show you my little camping stove. I have two of them, but I'm going to show you one right here. I think this is pretty cool. I've had this for a long time. Don't even know if they make these anymore. I know they make better upgraded versions and different things like that. But anyways, let's get to it. This is based off of two system. One propane, butane propane can. But anyways, this is the head of it right here. And this one's called Camping GAZ, spelled G-A-Z. And this is basically the top of the stove. And it goes with a fuel can right under. It's pretty small. It's really cool. These things were out before all the little tinier ones that they have nowadays. And look, you could set these things up right here. And now they drop and they stabilize in this area right here. So you could lift it up and turn it and then just drop it in. So it's really sturdy. I've done a lot of cooking on this out in the car camping, backpacking deep out in the mountains, and this thing's worked every single time. It's just been awesome. I mean, I can boil water in 3 minutes, if not less. And it has this high and low setting. This right here turns, and see, this is on and off, and I'm going to show you on the butane propane can. And basically what you do is to turn it, it'll spin, and I'm going to show you how that what I mean by that. Once you lock this cap down, then all you got to do is turn this counterclockwise, and basically this knob, and then gas comes out right here, and then you have a match and it'll light up. And that's why you can see these. It's kind of blued right here and dark, obviously from the gas, but very sturdy. I mean, it's never let me down. Of course, it's, you know, here's the butane propane little can right here, and that's its base basically right there. So it's been really great. It's not, you know, it's easy to carry obviously because I take these off, and it's all part of this system here. And I know there's similar systems, but I thought I'd show you something else. But this is what it looks like on the bottom, and this basically snaps on to this right here, and it's not screwed. There's no screw-in lines. This one just snap in and it tightens. There's some that do have that little screw where you actually have to screw in your stove, the head of it, this part. So it's pretty cool. Very small, as you can tell by my hands as I'm holding it here. And the same thing that goes on here, which is really neat, is I had also bought this, and this is your lantern. And this uses, it's obviously gas because of the propane cartridge here, and obviously it uses the old little netting here. I almost forgot the name of it, like other lanterns do. You just have to put one in there so it carries spares. They're so light, it's not even funny. This is glass right here. This is just like aluminum, and this, once it's on, I basically leave it like this so more of the heat escapes. As you can tell, it's a little dark in there right here just because of the heat, but it gets hot too, so you have to be careful. Comes with this handle right here, so obviously you can carry it around if you needed to. And but this thing's really sturdy too. Like I said, this is the base, same can. They have a can that's half the size. We'll get that in a second, but basically snaps on, same system. This will turn on there because it'll be loose, and then once you lock this knob onto, see, there you go, you lock it. As you can tell from right here, there you go, and it's not going to come off completely, by the way. So you see the threads right there. And what you're going to do is lock that on once it's in the can, in the propane can. Once that's locked, and as it says on, so that means locked, you just turn the knob counterclockwise. It's going to release the gas. So to turn it on, basically you're going to turn the gas on, have a match. I wouldn't recommend a lighter with this because as you would do this with a lighter, the flames go in this when your finger's too close. So I'd recommend, you know, I have these strike anywhere matches, or light a little stick on fire or something. And as you light it, then you put it right here, and it's going to light. I mean, you don't have to go deep. You just go right here, and it lights every single time. It's really easy. And so same thing as a little stove. This system is just really great because it uses both. The only drawback here is if you wanted to use a stove and you got the lamp used, well, you can only use one at a time. Now, unless you're willing to carry two of these, or a half size, which is exactly half the size of this one right here, this propane butane cartridge, then you can use both at the same time. And I have done that with the half can. That way, you know, it's lighter. But this isn't that heavy anyways. Right now you can hear it. Let me see if you can hear it. And that's the fuel inside. Anyways, it uses both systems, and I love this. And they're pretty bright light too. I couldn't tell you lumens or anything like that, but it is fairly bright and quiet. You can hear the gas coming out, but it's pretty quiet. And you can, with the light, just like the stove, you can raise it and give it more power. The lantern becomes brighter, pretty bright, and lower too. And same with the stove. Obviously, you can make it burn hotter. You're going to use more fuel, of course. Here's the propane butane stove, as you can see right here. It's part of the camping GAZ system. And you can get these in most places. Like I said, that they have the half one. I don't have one with me right now to show you, but just picture the same thing but half. They usually come in blue, but I'm sure there's other systems that are like this that are not threaded. This is not threaded, so that's important. Like if you guys have a little stove you buy, some are threaded, so this only works with non-thread, meaning these two systems here. Here's the front. It's called the CV470 cartridge, and you know what's cool is you continually use this. You know, I have a half one I take as emergency. Like right now, it's probably filled to here, from what I can tell. I'm just guesstimating, but you don't want to run out of your fuel when you're, especially when you're out there camping, backpacking. That's the last thing you want. So what I do is when this is lower like this, I don't want to take another bigger can like this. This is about 5.5 inches tall, maybe about 4 inches wide in diameter here. So I would take a half can. So let's just say, and it's never happened to me, but I've gotten close, where this got low using on the lantern setting, because we had that on most of the night. And then it was so low, started flickering, so I brought out my half one. And we only had half a day, almost a day left before we were going to backpack out of there. So I knew pretty much when to use it and stuff. So carrying the half one is easier, lighter weight, instead of just one big bulky. But I do like to take the bulky one here. I say bulky just because it's bigger. And this should be enough. I mean, this thing lights up so fast with the stove version that it's unreal. So obviously you're going to turn it off. You're not leaving it on constantly, especially in stove mode. Because stove mode, you're just cooking your food and you turn it off and that's pretty much it. It's your lantern where you're going to end up using it more because you want light at nighttime. But this should do for a good 3 days, I would say. You know, it varies depending on your use at night. We didn't leave it on all night or in our tent either. I mean, there you can use flashlights or other lights I have. But anyway, it's a great system. I also like it for home. I've used it when the power's been out at home, and I whipped this little thing out and ended up cooking my food. So probably when my neighbors are stressed and can't use their own stoves or anything else, I have this little baby to help me out. So it's also part of my bug out system. You know, if I really needed to and I can't take this, I'm not going to cry about it. I mean, hey, as long as you have a way to make fire, whether it's matches, lighter, lighters are okay, but eventually over time they start to evaporate. And if you don't know that, try it. You'll see it. Measure the level with a little marker on a lighter. It takes a while, and depending, of course, on the temperatures where you live, like colder temperatures, things like that. But even in regular sunny, nice temperatures, depending on where you store it, it does eventually evaporate, slowly but surely. So matches, like I said, can never go wrong, or the waterproof ones. I always have these Strike Anywhere matches I love, and just in case the box gets wet. But yeah, these things come in handy. Like I said, this is a really cool system. So let's get to the part right here. Let's do the stove part here. So all you do is snap it in. It's not even that loud like I just did. It's like you snap it in. Here's your little base. Here's your whole little stove. You can see that there. There you go. And I mean, how awesome. Now, one time there was really, really windy, so I put some rocks to stabilize it. Like pretend my fists are rocks here, and I put them on the sides here to really stabilize it. And it wasn't tipping, but I was kind of afraid. But I'm right there. I'm not gonna. You should never leave your stove and walk away from it. It should always be right there because you don't want a fire started or anything like that. So we do clear the area without trying to damage or cause anything in the outdoors. You know, I want it to stay the same, not that we're digging all over. So, but basically we did it, and it stayed right there. And then, you know, we put our pan here on top, and we were good to go. But let me show you this. And basically what happens is right here on the neck there's on, which is counterclockwise, and off, which is clockwise. So all you do right here, you can split it all day. So what you do with these kind of systems is you're going to hold the top of the stove here on top. You're going to turn the bottom knob. You see down here like I showed you with the threads. And I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So counterclockwise. You can still spin it, see, but it just tied into the can. So now it's tight, see that? So it's not going to move no more. So the only thing you need to do now is just turn this on right here. And there's a little bit of wind, so I'm going to try to see that. I'm standing the wrong side, but basically here's where your flame is going to come out. So if I were to light this on fire, and let's see. Can never have one when you need it. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to add the, hold on a second. So we're going to try to light this right here really quick. So you're going to turn the gas on, but at first you want to try, you know, your match or whatever. Now it's on right now. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. You could actually hear this. Hear that? And I just turned it off. So you saw how quick that was lighted. And of course be careful touching the metal, that's obvious, but because it stays hot, but it cools down pretty quick. But you just saw that. You want to light your match first or whatever. On this one you could use a lighter too down here. You know, always make sure the wind's not towards you. That's why I got off camera for a little bit, but to get in the right angle. And you saw that. You put the match, then the gas. You don't want to put the gas and it starts going everywhere, then boom. It's going to look like a little explosion. Nothing major, but the more gas, hey, the more that it's around that you can't see. So you always want to have the match or a little branch, whatever it is, light it here first. Your face not too close, turn it, and then you're good to go. So to get this off, turn it counterclockwise. As you can see, this actually raises. You see that? It actually raises there because it's unscrewing and unplugging from the canister. And now you know that this is safe. This is not going to leak. So you see that right there? You'll smell a little bit of gas, and that's about it. The propane, butane formula, which is a mixture of both. And by the way, because it has that mixture, it does work in cold temperatures. Mine has never frozen, and I've been in some pretty cold, I'm not talking Alaskan weather type, but I've been in some cold states and mountains that I'm not a fan of the cold, so I try to stay as warm as possible, but mine has worked every single time. I've never had a problem. So anyway, so that's the stove. Let's show you the lamp. Same bottom system, which I love. It's not too hard to figure this thing out. So basically all you do is snap it in. And by the way, what I just did, I've forgotten right here, see the thread? That's the closed position. You want to have it in the open. Now you can see the thread. By having it open, it pushes this nozzle back that's going to insert itself into the can, and that's how the gas gets in there. Just kind of puncturing away, but it's already open. So you want to have this open, not closed like I did. So that way, now you can snap it in. And remember, it's going to spin just like the stove part did. So what you want to do, obviously this right here, you can keep it like this as well. It's easy to grab. It also obviously is round, so that way when it's here, it's out of the way. Maybe when you're stuffing it in your pack or something like that. And that's why it's been like this. But I would recommend that if you use this kind of system, keep it like this once it's on, which I'm going to show you. That way, if you need to get to, you know, this does get a little hot up here, you know, the lantern part. So basically, that way you have something to grab and you're going to take it somewhere and move it around. So basically right now, let's show you, same thing as the stove. We're going to turn, there we go, counterclockwise. And you're holding, by the way, this neck right here to the lantern. And as you do that, now notice it doesn't spin. Same exactly as the stove. And all I have to do now is just open the top right here. It just snaps. So this is a little taller, so I'm going to have to get the camera up a little bit. So here we go. Okay. So this just snaps in. Make sure that's open first. And like I said, careful of winds, just like the stove. You want to be obviously opposite of the wind hitting you. You know, if the wind is striking towards you, you're not going to light it. You want to be on the opposite where the wind's hitting your back, so that way, you know, the gas of the fire is not going to hit you. So let's try this. I need to get another, and I forget the names of these, but right now it's escaping me. But you see that little netting in there? A lot of lanterns use that, and it's trippy how that works. But this one seems like it's kind of dying out there, so let's see if it still lights. If it doesn't, obviously I got to buy a new one. But you guys pretty much have seen lanterns anyway. So, all right, remember we're going to light first. Then I'm going to put the match here as the gas is coming out. So there we go. So you know what, folks? Didn't do it because I have to buy another one of those little netting things. Like I said, I apologize, the name escapes me, but that's what goes over. It just slips on over like a sock over that center right there, and once you put the match in, it lights in. It's really bright, so I apologize on that. When I get some, I'll redo the video on this and just show you a quick one maybe. But anyways, it's pretty bright, so I apologize about that. I hadn't pulled this out in a while. So I'm going through my gear, which I do every now and then, which I suggest everybody do, just for these kind of things. Now, if I was going to go on a camping trip right now, backpacking, I check my gear regardless, and I would have bought another. So I haven't had a chance lately, but since I'm doing these videos and I'm going through my gear, just because this is the normal basis I do every probably couple months. Like I said, if I'm going out backpacking or something, mandatory I check it before, several days before I go, depending where I'm going and how long. But I also check every 4 months, 3 months, it varies, all my gear, or most of the gear. And like I said, in packs I take some stuff out, put some stuff in, so it's all ready to go for emergencies too, like my bug out bags. But anyways, there's my stove, the camping gas unit. Like I said, it's turned off right now. You always want to make sure it's turned off so it's clockwise, and then you hold the unit again, take the neck off. Oh no, I'm sorry, turn it clockwise down here while you're holding it. You're going to smell a little bit of gas. It's not leaking, trust me, you're fine. Then there you go, you took the head off the lantern, and there it is. Like I said, it does seal up on its own. Now if you ever, I wouldn't doubt this happened to somebody in any kind of system that has these kind of propane, butane canisters, these fuel canisters. If you saw it leaking or something like that, of course, dump it, get it away, put it in a plastic bag. I like to carry this inside a Ziploc bag. I've never had it leak, but just in case, I don't think it's just going to be like liquid coming out. This is obviously more of a gas type form in there. But like I said, gas is under pressure. So, but still, let's just say, God forbid you had a leak or something, or maybe you got a defective one. It's a good idea. It's very inexpensive. Get a good Ziploc bag, a bigger one. Not a cheap one, you know. You can use cheap ones for other stuff, but get a good one where it seals good. So that way when you get it out, if you start smelling gas, then you got a problem. You know, you want to double check it, obviously, any kind of system like this. But I've never had a problem. I've dropped these. I try not to. I've probably dropped it only once in my life. It's a little rust, as you can tell here, and I've had it indoors in my room. But before that, had it in the garage, so that's probably where that got the little rust on the outside. But yet, it did not affect the can, its use, or anything else. Pretty great system. I'm very happy with it. This thing is just really, really cool. And when the market was coming out, barely with the smaller stoves, all the other ones I see nowadays, these were some of the first, I shouldn't say some of the first, but some of the kind of growing type back then. And like I said, now there's so many different types, but you can still use these. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is the propane butane CV470 cartridge, as they call it, and my stove and lantern system works great even for home emergencies. But that's my camping stuff. So take care, God bless, click the like button, I'd appreciate it. And if you guys got questions, comments, leave them. Let me know your systems. It's always cool. I love gear. I love to see other people's systems as well, or tell me about them. So you guys take care.